Okay, I just came on here to say, motherfuck DaBaby. This guy is just a ridiculous cloud chaser. So he made a new song a week ago. I just saw it right now. It's called Save Me. And this is featuring the footage of this Ukrainian girl who got stabbed in the neck. So this guy over here, at some point he pulls out a knife, stabs her in the neck a bunch of times, and she dies. And of course, a lot of people have seen this online because it's one of the most shocking footages you can find out there. Just somebody just being stabbed to death for absolutely no reason. And there is no reason. People are just making this about race or something. This guy had a record before. This guy is obviously somebody who's like mentally unstable. Most likely this guy is just a drug addict, maybe like on crack or something. At some point you can see that people are getting like into like a complete psychosis if they are on drugs for a very long time, like especially if they are on crack or meth. So that's most likely what happened. There's no other reason. It's just like a crackhead just killing somebody in public. It's just, it happens. And then one thing that people note about this is that none of the other people stepped in and helped out and stopped this man. I mean, I guess that's sad. On the other hand, you can barely stop somebody who has a knife. It's almost impossible. You can try, but you might be the next victim, right? So it's this whole thing where you're in the shower and you're thinking like, what could I have said differently to my dad in this one conversation? That's like the same thing. People are fantasizing that they can that they can just in this situation act perfectly and stop this man. Maybe it's not impossible. Sometimes you have somebody who can stop this situation, but I don't know. Have you been in this situation before? Yeah, and DaBaby thinks that he can stop this guy. I don't even know where to start. So I think this is just he just didn't have like a big song in the last time in the last like months or something, or like the last years. I don't know. I don't even know when the last big DaBaby song was. So he's just kind of stepping on this bandwagon of people just sharing this video on social media, makes this video called Save Me, right? And the thing at the end is that this guy starts attacking. Here the guy starts attacking and DaBaby is stopping him. DaBaby is stopping him. DaBaby has like, he's like one punch where he's like Ruffy, right? He has like the moon step or something. Like what is it called? Like Shinpo from Bleach, and he's like bam, and grabs this dude's arm, and he already knows that this guy is about to stab this young lady. Of course, he already knew that this was about to happen, right? He's stopping this guy, and then at the end, of course, they share the GoFundMe of this lady. I mean, at least they did that, but I mean, this is so obvious that he's just using this tragedy to revitalize his career. That's kind of like on the downside, on the downslope. So you could think, okay, so this is like a deep, sad song, right? He's like here. He's waiting for this guy to start his attack because he can, of course, see in the future. He already knows what's gonna happen. So of course, these lyrics are probably gonna talk about that. Like it's okay. This lyric is about, you think you can save me? How can you save me? Think you can save me like God? I mean, is he making a parody on himself because he's trying to save somebody? And then I don't spend a couple million on them lawyer fees. I'm like, okay, what does this have to do with anything? I heard this in the track. I was like, what? And then he was just talking about some. I was like, this has nothing to do with the deed. This has nothing to do with this murder. Nothing. So what is he talking about? And then I'm reading the lyrics. And I'm like, okay, he says, when I get back and start performing, it's gonna cost you double. He's like flexing that he's now demanding more money after he's gotten out of jail or something. Then he says at some point, every time I'm leaving out, I watch all 3 of my mirrors and check the cameras before I leave the house. Okay, yeah, I understand. I mean, the world is a dangerous place, right? You gotta make sure nothing happens to you and your family. And then he says, making sure ain't no snakes around my land. I gotta weed them out. Better stay out my face, cause I'm a man and I'll bleed you down. Whoa, buddy. As Young Thug likes to say, whoa, buddy. So are we talking about now bleeding people out? So we are talking about, I'm a man, I bleed you down. Sorry, not bleed you out, bleed you down. That's what we're talking about right now. talking about, if you fuck with me, I'll bleed you down. This, so there's no positivity or like sadness. It's like, he's like threatening people on the track, while in the video's about like a murder, okay? But by the way, this is an actual threat, right? By DaBaby. Because, if you've forgotten about it, DaBaby is actually a killer, right? Not a murderer, a killer. It was in self-defense. I mean, I think in this Walmart, I think it happened in Walmart. There were a lot of bystanders, so a lot of people saw what happened. So I have to assume that it was actually in full self-defense, because so many people witnessed it. Like, somebody would have said if it was otherwise, I would say. But I think if you have killed somebody in your life before, I mean, if it's in self-defense, you kind of earn the bragging rights to talk about it on paper. But should you talk about other murders or deaths? Should you be maybe like a bit more like sensible? Like, okay, this is like, I'm currently talking about somebody killing somebody, and I have myself killed somebody. Maybe we can be a bit more cautious of that. And then at one point he says, when I stayed silent in my morals, yeah, it cost me plenty. When I'm inside of her, it's like water. She gonna toss me under. I was like, when I'm inside of her, it's like, who's he talking about? Is he talking about the teenager Ukrainian girl? Is he talking about the teenage Ukrainian girl that he's inside of? Probably not, right? The best interpretation would be that this has nothing to do with the murder with this young Ukrainian girl. I think this whole track has absolutely nothing to do with it. He just made a song about him being free and now demanding more money and saying that he's all smashing bitches, right? Like a rapper does. And then the label said, okay, what do we do for the video? And he said, oh, let me cloud chase this murder of a young Ukrainian teenager, right? A murder that is also currently being politically used to carry some sort of like race fantasy, like where people say, oh, black people are killing white people now, because this guy, of course, I mean, I have to say, this guy said, oh, I got the white girl after murdering her. I mean, this guy is like a delusional crackhead, okay? We have to be honest and say this doesn't have like anything to do with like large scale like race politics or something, when like some crackhead is doing some bullshit, right? So this song has nothing to do with the murder of that child, right? No, that has nothing to do with it. Also, DaBaby has like some sort of like savior fantasies where he's like an anime protagonist who's like skilled, like his speed to the point where he's like, bam, like can just stop people from murdering somebody, right? Also, like, of course, the watch has to be in the frame, right? I mean, what an asshole! What a total asshole! And to be clear, I have listened to some DaBaby songs back in the days, right? Not now. Not in the last years, right? Back in the days. We all love that. Dim, 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 dim. Everybody knows this song, right? I've actually forgotten the name of the song, by the way. But anyways, everybody knows the song. So it's not like I have no problem with DaBaby. I liked his music back then. I thought he was a funny guy. I just this is just in such a bad taste. So, I mean, what else is there to say, right? Fuck him. That's all. Oh, by the way, before anybody says that DaBaby is just helping this GoFundMe has 500,000, almost like 460k. I don't think that DaBaby made like a big difference. I mean, just to give this disclaimer. And also DaBaby was not like instrumental in like covering her funeral costs. Okay, this case had all the attention on it.